In preparing for this presentation, I reviewed my last 2 years' sales and found that the majority of the new people that purchased significant amounts of life insurance from me came from primarily 3 sources. The first would be centers of influence. It's a term we're all familiar with, but not all of us do it. Over the years, I've built a large network of centers of influence, and they primarily consist of accountants and attorneys and bankers. We've all been taught that it's helpful to develop a circle of centers of influence. But again, I found that very few people do it because you don't see very immediate results from it. Through business and social and community activities, I've gotten to know a lot of attorneys and accountants and bankers. And when I identify one that has the ability to refer business to me, I call him on a telephone and I ask him to join me for lunch or a round of golf or whatever. And during our meeting, I take a lot of time to listen to his description of his practice. And in particular, I want to know the type of clients that he has, and in particular, I want to know where he gets them from. Because I'm really able to learn a lot of new and creative twists to client building, especially when I'm talking to a professional like an accountant or an attorney who really, quote unquote, isn't allowed to solicit, or at least they didn't used to be. Now, when my term comes, I'll brief him on me, our company, and what we do, and point out to him the things that make us special. And then I show him what I call my Center of Influence kit, which is really very simple. It contains the first 5 years' premiums for a $1 million term insurance policy at every age from 30 to 60. It'll also give him on a different page some disability, and on a different page some joint life rates and values. And I tell him to take this thing and to put it in his bottom right-hand drawer, and the next time that he's got a client in his office and a subject of additional risk arises because his client has higher indebtedness or has just expanded his business or there's a non-liquidity issue or whatever, I want him to reach down, pull that out, and find out what it would cost for his client to rent $1 million of life insurance. Now note I emphasize the word rent and not buy. In the very beginning, when I was going out to see centers of influence, I'd go out and I'd try to show them all of the fancy ways that we do what we do. You know, split dollar between a trust and a corporation, and we'd get into all of these exotic things. But the problem was that I wasn't getting any results. And from the moment that I started showing my centers of influence that I was willing to rent term insurance, the business really started rolling in. And what I learned was that the majority of accountants and attorneys didn't want to go on record with their clients saying that they should spend a whole lot of money to buy permanent coverage. It wasn't a matter of right or wrong, they just didn't want to do it. Second, a lot of them didn't believe in permanent coverage and were term buyers themselves. And third, they weren't going to take the time to understand all of the complicated things I was trying to show them because they got their own things to learn. And that by showing them term insurance rates, I was letting these centers of influence know that I welcomed term buyers, including themselves. After 25 years in this profession, I am convinced and comforted by the fact that there's only one real reason why someone will not protect his family or business when a real need to do so exists. And that reason is simply that they do not want to spend their money to protect someone else. Period. It's the I, the me, the self problem. It's very, very hard to overcome. And the only way I know to do it is to get people to focus on love and on obligation. Love or obligation. They either love someone or they're obligated to someone or both. They either want to or they have to protect someone else or both. And they are the only feelings powerful enough to overcome the thoughts of self and me and I. You know, we have charts and graphs to show people how to convert term insurance to permanent. But I've never seen one yet, nor have I ever developed one yet, that can convert someone from not caring to caring. Thank you. So whenever I am having problems getting in or closing, I check myself to make sure that I am getting the person in front of me to focus on why he should do what I am asking him to do, rather than just flooding him with charts and graphs on how to do it. And my last thought for you about prospecting and getting in, it's the windows and bathrooms of our job. It's an endless process. It's not easy, it's rarely pleasant, and many, many times it's unsuccessful. But I have found over time that all the successful people I've met in all walks of life specialize in doing things that unsuccessful people avoid. So let's energize and go get them. Thank you very much.